Thokozani Mhlongo, a security guard who has pleaded guilty to murdering 2 KZN women, will know his fate today. Doris, Mbuso and Monica Xulu from Umgababa went missing on Women's Day this year. A week later, their bodies were found buried in a shallow grave at a creche. Mhlongo worked as a security guard at the eThembeni creche in Umgababa, which was owned by Xulu since 2014. For more on this story, let's bring in SABC News reporter Vusi Khumalo live from Pietermaritzburg. Vusi, good morning to you. Certainly, this was one of those stories that shocked the nation in August when it did break. So take us back to what we know about that particular day, or what was found back in August when the 2 bodies were found. Briefly, a reminder, what's happened since then, and then we'll get into what happens today.
Yes, good morning, Naledi. Yes, indeed. Thokozani Mhlongo is appearing today in the Pietermaritzburg High Court. Yes, the sentencing proceedings are going to begin any moment from now. I recall that on the 9th of August, which is the Women's Day, we got the shocking news that 2 elderly women, Mbuso as well as Xulu, the elderly being 62-year-old and also 81-year-old being Xulu, who used to own a creche and a daycare center down south of Durban in Umgababa area. So what we remember on that day is that their bodies were found buried in a shallow grave. We found out later that police were in search of these 2 elderly women. They searched for about almost 2 weeks without any luck, and it was in vain for about 2 weeks. And then later on, upon investigation by police who were also working with community members, they then found that actually the security guard of the daycare center and the crèche was the one who was at the time alleged to have the last person to have been with the 2 elderly women, and it was found out later that is actually the person who actually killed them. He started by assaulting them with the nunchucks and the rope used to tie them up. And then he just took their bodies in the middle of the night, and then he buried them in a shallow grave at the very same facility of the creche, at the yard of the creche. Near, actually, these 2 elderly women were also the neighbors of this facility. So a number of people were then shocked when upon hearing that it was actually this very same security guard who was actually employed by Xulu. When we found out later during his confession in court down at Umgababa Magistrate Court, before the matter came to Pietermaritzburg High Court, he did confide to police and also to the court. He was saying that actually what he was angered by the fact that in 2014 he was looking for a job in the down south in Umgababa, and then Xulu then offered her to employ him as a security guard, but before that he told him, confided to him on him that he actually had no one from home, and his family home was also destroyed in 1994, and that he was coming from, he had no family, and was also initially coming from a broken
just in
family.
The interest of time, Vusi, I need to just step in there. So let's quickly just talk a little bit about what we're expecting to see today. Let's talk about what's happening today, just in the interest of time. Apologies, Vusi. What are we expecting to happen in court this morning?
Yes, after he was found guilty a week ago, today we are expecting the sentencing proceedings to begin any moment from now, because he has been found guilty on those 2 counts of murder as well as the assault.